Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and we've got a wee coffee and chat. I actually, Jim and I got these coffee cups and saucers as a wedding present many years ago, and we had 6, now we're down to 3, but I've got a blue one, a yellow one and a red one, and I thought, why not? Let's have some very nice coffee china for our coffee and chat. So I'm back. Well, sort of back mainly next week, starting off in August, but it's nice to just sit down and have a coffee with you before that, like catch up on things that have happened and the last month or so, which has been quite exciting, and there's been a lot going on. That noise is Nelly, as usual. Haven't got my new background up or anything yet. And let me say hello to all the new subscribers, or if you've come to the channel recently and I've not been there. I had a month off and thoroughly enjoyed it, but this is 3.5 weeks now, and I'm missing you, so I'm back, I think. So my name's Colette, also known as Grandmother Winds of the Earth, and if you like my channel, please stay and subscribe, and look forward to all the nice stuff coming over the autumn, late summer and autumn. Those of you that have been with me for a long while know that I tend to be very creative in the autumn and enjoy my channel very much at that time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So how are you? There's been lots of floods in Europe, and the rain and thunder is meant to start here tonight. I've been watching sort of flooding, and one thing that would frighten me, I think, although I'm a good swimmer, I don't like swimming sort of in a contained place. So when I see the the undergrounds flooding and people having to get out of the underground trains, and the water's up high, I'm a bit like, oh, I don't like that. So I hope everybody's safe from the rains and the thunderstorms, whether that's in the USA or Europe, and we're just waiting to see what happens here. We tend to live on at the top of a lane that goes down and then dips back, sort of dips and then comes back up. So we tend to get cut off quite a lot with that, and in the winter it just snows in the whole thing, so you're kind of, it looks as though you've got a straight road, but you've actually got like about 6-foot dip of snow. But it's a lovely place, and I'm glad to be here. So all my oldie goldies, are you doing okay? Have you been looking after yourselves? Are you looking forward to some more psychic development classes this autumn? We're looking forward to getting chatting and just enjoying the channel for its weekly tarot cards and its fortnightly mediumship and its tutorials, and all the enjoyment, especially the coffee and chats. I do enjoy them. I feel as though I'm sort of just talking to you all individually. It's a lovely feeling. So I hope you've had a nice sort of summer. I know we're not finished yet, but I must admit, the minute it's August, I'm like, okay, downhill now to autumn or fall. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, I do apologise, but enjoy the last of your winter and coming into spring. That must be nice for you too. And for everybody who has maybe worries about COVID, etc., I hope you're still taking care of yourselves and looking after yourselves. So what have I been up to? I'll get a wee sip of coffee. Well, started off not doing a lot, I must admit. Enjoying sort of sitting in the garden. We'd put a lot of perennials in last year, so there was things, loads of flowers coming up that we didn't need to do anything with. And really, if something could grow by being thrown in a bucket or a pot, then that's what happened. And that's kind of my way of gardening. And actually, it's turned out great this year because the flowers are amazing. And we've got quite a lot of cucumbers and tomatoes and strawberries, and loads of lettuce. Oh my God, I could have a lettuce stall, I'm not kidding. And we haven't got any fruit off the little trees, the little pear trees, the apple trees. This is the first time I've really done fruit trees rather than, just raspberry bushes. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I think they're about 2 to 3 years old. But maybe it's still to come. I don't know. The pear tree flowered, the apple tree didn't, but we just got it in May, so who knows. But I'm not expecting anything, so if we get a wee pear or something, I'll be quite happy, because we're doing quite well with berries. So that's been lovely. I did a thing this year that I just, you've got to force yourself to say, look, I can't do this anymore. So what happened was, the views from the cottage are lovely, but I used to adore walking the dogs along the lanes, particularly in the evening, because it's very beautiful, it's very quiet, and it's just stunning actually. But because of my arthritis and disability, I can't walk very far at all now. So my younger daughter came and said, Mum, if you want to go for a walk, you really have to go in your wheelchair and I'll drive you wherever you want to go in your wheelchair. And I said, yeah, come on, let's do it. So get in the wheelchair and off we went. The lanes aren't like roads as such, in that they're very bumpy and have potholes and all sorts of trauma in them from like horse poo and whatever. So I was a wee bit worried it would be a wee bit bumpy and, like Jill would maybe struggle a bit, but she didn't. The only worry we had is the lanes are only wide enough for like one car. And if a tractor comes along, there's even the verges are kind of taken up with the width of a tractor. So we went at what we know is a quiet time, and when we went along, got some lovely photos, which I think I put up some, and then we talked to a neighbour further along that I had not talked to before, so we're kind of isolated, and it was like I'd seen this house and thought that's lovely, loved their garden, but we got to stop and talk. And it was very relaxed. And then on the way back, we must have only been about 50 feet away from the cottage entrance. And I started to feel Jill starting to run. Of course, my hearing's not brilliant, but there was a tractor behind us and it was pulling hay bales. So there was absolutely nowhere for us to go. So he kind of slowed down and she quickened up, and I would have loved to be someone that could have caught it in camera, because here was me sort of getting shuggled about and all the sort of ups and downs, Jill running with the wheelchair, looking as though we'd been chased by a tractor with hay bales on it. And when we got in the driveway for the house, the two of us just collapsed laughing. It's like we do get into some fun together. But it was lovely, and I'm going to do it again. Definitely going to do it again, because I actually really like the lanes in autumn and winter, and I think it would be lovely. And Jill's up for it, so I'm off. If I upset her at one point and I don't turn up on the channel for maybe a few weeks or so, put out an SOS that haven't been dumped in a ditch at the side of the lane. But no, she wouldn't do that, would you, Jill? No. So that was lovely. Talking about Jill, my younger daughter, I've alluded to the fact that she has had mental health issues in the past, quite severe, and she's been diagnosed with OCD and adult tic syndrome, but mainly the OCD. This other diagnosis is just more recent, and it's based on the OCD anyway. It comes from that. So she's been through a lot with it, and been to hell and back really, herself and as a family. But she's quite a wee writer, and she was writing a memoir of her, well, her whole story plus recovery to the stage that she's in life now. And we heard just at the beginning of me coming away and going on my wee break, we heard that she had got a publishing contract and her book would probably be out maybe October time. And I'm just so proud, just so amazing. I mean, I've read it, and as a mum, you can understand with OCD, apparently alcoholism, maybe abuse that someone gets when they are under the influence of alcohol and in a relationship, not in a relationship, but you know what I mean. It's her story, and yes, I'm in it, and Jim's in it, and whatever. But it's her story, and it's incredibly hard going for a mum, but incredibly uplifting as well, because, obviously I know her, and a lot of it, most of it I knew, but there was things that I didn't know that, we've been able to discuss and talk about since. So it's been very cathartic for that. But yes, my younger daughter is going to be a published author in a few months' time, and I definitely will be showing you the book and talking about it, because I'm very, very, very proud of her. And OCD, particularly in young adults through to, maybe their 30s, 35, is a massive problem now. Jill's OCD is not so much hand washing and stuff, it's intrusive thoughts that compel her to do compulsions. So it's very relevant, and when I started talking about it to people, on social media, I couldn't believe how many people out there have been affected by this, and it seems to have got worse with the lockdown and then people emerging back into the world, and that's an interesting thing. So yes, got another author in the family. My elder daughter, she was on holiday, and we got to see Alexander, who's coming on a treat. He's quite tall, and he's cheeky, and he's adorable, and he wasn't, he's a wee bit off the other week, and I sat with him on my knee and watched Cars 3, I think it was, to find out who Lightning McQueen was, because he dominated our lives for the last 6 months or year. And that was lovely, just sitting with him on my knee, and he's, what like little toddlers are like. They're kind of, I don't know, you just want to hug them and snuffle them, and they're just delectable. Just feeling he's got kind of slightly wavy curly hair. It's very much my dad and I's texture, and I don't know, it's just feeling that hair and that squishy wee body laughing, and he just put his hand in my arm and we were watching it, and it was like one of the best things ever, absolutely ever. So yeah, that's been lovely too. Lovely times as well out with both the girls, driven around the garden centre when it opened. Everything's so weird. I actually, with all the different things that are in place, like the garden centre that we go to for lunch very much call it Garden Valley, but it's, you know, like Lanark Valley, Clyde Valley. It literally has so many garden centres with coffee houses. It's quite an amazing bit, if you like gardens, if you like gardening. But apart from that, it's touristy, but they've kind of half the amount of seating and the amount of people that can have coffees and stuff. And I actually liked it far better. It wasn't so manic, and you know, I could hear things better because there wasn't the constant background noise, and I did enjoy it. So the time's out with both my daughters. It's Jim and I's anniversary tomorrow. That's the 28th, and I don't know anything about that yet. I think it's 16 years. Oh my goodness. That's a life sentence. I would have got off earlier if I'd murdered them. Never mind. Anyway, no, we're just pottering along. His back wasn't so good again, but it swings and roundabouts. Do you know what I mean? It's one of these things that you never know when it's going to be a wee bit better. You never know when it's just going to twang. But you know, we just potter around one another, and we've had some nice meals, and really treating ourselves because it is our sort of holiday break. So that's been lovely. Yeah, and I saw a Pixar film with Jill and Jim, and it was called Soul. And if you get the chance to watch it, it's, you know, Pixar is kind of for children, but this was amazing. It was about the afterlife. And the wee souls in it were as cute as buttons. They really were. They were just gorgeous. But it was bringing sort of more adult concepts towards children, explaining the afterlife a wee bit to it, probably explaining it to some adults as well. But that was lovely. And I had such a good book. Didn't last me long enough into the holiday though. It was Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia, what's her name? Hang on, I'll have a look. Delia Owens. And if you want a very atmospheric book that's almost quite spiritual and shamanic in the background, that's what I loved about it. There's very few books where I feel that nature becomes a character in the book, and one of them is Sunset Song by Lewis Grassic Gibbons. One of my favourite all-time books, where actually the countryside round about Cumbernauld, etc. in Scotland becomes the character, one of the characters. And I love that about books when you actually are in, you know, whether it's a jungle, whether it's a desert, whether it's a marshland, like in Where the Crawdads Sing, whether it's like the arable land of Scottish Perthshire kind of Angus, not Perthshire. It's kind of in between, I think. So it was lovely to find another book where the actual countryside and the nature associated with the countryside, I mean, you just steep yourself in it. It's heaven. If you're looking for a good book, Where the Crawdads Sing is stunning, absolutely stunning. Just one of the best books I've read. So there's a wee thing for you. See, that sort of said, what would I do? Bear Garden, Jill published. Yep, I think that's about it. I had a Sjogren's flare up in the middle of this month, but it actually it wasn't too bad because in a way I wasn't doing anything, so I just allowed myself to read and rest through it. So that was good. So it's been an interesting 3.5, 4 weeks. Jim has said that he felt that was enough for me, that I did need to get back. It's I don't think I would ever be bored, but I was getting to miss the conversations and miss the connections with you. So that's why I'm back a wee bit earlier. I couldn't keep away. So let me know how you've been doing. Let me know if you've had maybe a staycation, or, excuse me, pardon me, or if you've been working, or if you've been ill or whatever. I would like to know. And hopefully we'll get the weekly tarot card done at some point and get back to mediumship. I've also have been doing little bits of writing. The book for next year is taking more focus, which I'm happy about. It's kind of veered off a wee bit from what I originally thought it would be, but that's fine. And I've been writing the odd wee blog or article that I've got 3 on the go, and I haven't finished one of them, but you know, the bare bones are there, so once I've done them, they will become things for YouTube as well. So yeah, it's going to be good, and I hope that you'll bear with me, and I hope that if I disappear at any time, you'll know that it's probably health related, and that not to worry about me. But if it goes on too long, as I say, check out ditches around the cottage in case Jill's tipped me over into it when I've been wanting to stay out too long. So there we go. I hope you're all good. It's really nice to be back, and I'm looking forward to having a kind of gentle August, easing myself in, and then September onwards for me is writing and YouTube, and then we'll see where we go. So I really did miss you, and I'm looking forward to what the next few months brings for us. So let me know how you are, and I hope to see you soon, and many blessings. Bye now.